somebody on a little tractor that already had a quick coupler on it decided to be cheap and get the forks that clip over the end of the bucket. And you can see somebody tried repairing all of it once just by filling everything in with weld. I don't understand why someone would have. And all the dents here, I presume, are probably from someone trying to beat it back with a hammer. But yeah. So, in their attempt to save a few $100s by buying the cheap slip-on forks, one, you can't see what you're doing with them. You can't see through your bucket. Two, now your forks are an extra 2 feet or more in front of the tractor, so you can't lift as much, and you're just making it that much harder on your equipment and that much less stable. Three, you end up paying someone like me to rebuild your bucket after you've torn it up. And yes, I get old cutting edges off of road graders. Usually the county replaces them before they have much wear on them. And it's going to be a lot cheaper for me to do that than it is to cut that one off, bend it back straight. Not to mention you can see how much wear it already has on it. So I'll probably cut some sections out of that are worth saving for myself for random projects in the future, but for them, the $25 a piece I get for those is a whole lot cheaper. Now, I ain't one of them Instagram welders, but you can see a couple spots. I don't like porosity. There's just enough of a breeze that blows under that door. Sometimes it happens. Your shielding gas goes bye-bye. You can see my weld on the cutting edge where it bled through all of these holes. And they mostly look pretty good. Let me roll this thing over. So, I don't know why he has magnets stuck on. There's one nail. There's one back here. I don't know why, but it's still. I mean, I am not the best of welders, but that be repair. I wish I'd had some 12-inch plate. I think it was 12 that I needed to go all the way back to where that wheel pad is here. I didn't have any on hand. I wasn't going to buy a stick just to do this. And the only part of the crack I missed is that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it eventually cracks there from all the force prying on this edge. Granted, it's a pretty small tractor. I can't imagine he's short putting those forks back on it. He shouldn't have any issues with it. What's bad is for what it cost me to buy the materials to build that, I can go buy a ready-made bucket. Granted, if it were me, I wouldn't have built the whole thing out of 3/16 plate. I would have built out a quarter, or possibly 3/8, depending on the horsepower of the machine it's on. And if you plan on digging in a lot of rock or putting teeth on it and using it as a rake to clear land, I'd build it heavier. And you can see that may not even be 3/16. That might be 9 or 10 gauge. Yeah, I think that's 10. That's not 3/16. Let me go get a. I'm not going to get a good measurement on it, but these ain't going to quite fit in there. But it'll give us a good idea. It will give us an idea. Yeah, that's more like 1/8 inch. That's probably 10 or 11 gauge. Yeah, 1/4 inch would have been significantly more better. It wouldn't have failed like it did. But for me to call materials, I probably have $1,000 to build out a 1/4 inch. Plus the cutting edge and some miscellaneous things. So, in a couple of days of my time, you're probably looking $1,500, $2,000 for me to build one of those, when you can go buy one ready made from China for probably about $1,000. So I do like the recycled cutting edges. Those work out pretty good. The problem, one issue with them is because they've been used, they're magnetic usually, and that makes them more difficult to weld, but not that big a deal. If you, well, MIG weld or dual shield in this case, MIG's worse, but either one, because it's magnetic, you tend to get a lot of porosity. If you stick weld it, it's not an issue, but stick be much slower. Or there'll be a bucket.